What's good? Smash that like and subscribe button, man. Shout out Truth Talk, Truth Is podcast. We exposing DaBaby today, man. I've been many
Thank you for joining me for this Truth episode. In today's episode, we'll be talking about DaBaby's new music video, Tough Skin. But before we begin, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you'd like to further support the channel, check out the Truth Is store and see if you find anything you like. At the Truth Is store, we have the Truth Is shirts and hoodies in many different colors, and we also got coffee mugs, phone cases, and a bunch of other stuff. So if you'd like to further support the channel and help with the funding of Truth Records, check out the Truth Is store. The link would be in the description. Now, let's get right into it. DaBaby is one of the biggest rappers in the past 3 years, blowing up in 2019 after his song Suge managed to take off, giving DaBaby his first taste of mainstream success. He would go on to drop multiple hit songs since and collaborated with some of the biggest artists in the world like Kanye West, solidifying his place in the music industry. With all this fame and success, it still hasn't been all good for DaBaby, as he has been very controversial since he got in the music industry. DaBaby has gotten into so many altercations throughout his career that I am surprised he isn't behind bars or broke from paying off his victims. DaBaby once again decided to be controversial, but not in the way that he usually is. In his recent music video, Tough Skin, we see DaBaby mimicking the same blasphemous imagery we have seen so many other artists doing. DaBaby decided to paint himself as Jesus in his last music video. And to me, this clearly proves that DaBaby is a Masonic puppet who took the oath. In the music video, we see DaBaby crucified like Jesus, while men in red with white masks are throwing things at him. The first thing that came to my mind when seeing this was these men in red reminded me of Kanye at his Donda event, as Kanye was also wearing red with a similar mask, but instead of a white mask, he had on a black mask. This imagery in DaBaby's music video is obvious. It represents sacrifice. The men are wearing red, and the color red to the Freemasons represents sacrifice. Also, he is reenacting the crucifixion of Christ, which in itself represents sacrifice, as Jesus was sacrificed for our sins. The imagery is beyond blasphemous, once again painting these artists that take the oath as gods. At the end of the video, we see a very important scene, DaBaby being purified in flames. Occultists use fire in rituals. It represents purification, and it also represents rising like a phoenix. DaBaby is being purified in flames. It's the reason they show him shining after the flames are out. He has risen like a phoenix, which represents his ascension as a god. This entire video is blasphemous, and in my
talk about the Phoenix rising and all this shit so much, man, throughout my life, man. Nobody want to listen. Thank you, Truth Is, because the word been spread to a lot of people. Like, I've been trying and it haven't been working. That shit is crazy, but you doing it. Congrats to your ass, nigga. Like, keep that shit up, bro. For real. I'm happy for you, man.
Just proves what side DaBaby has chosen. We need to talk about this blasphemous imagery these rappers continue to put out. So many rappers have gotten away with mocking the crucifixion of Jesus over the years. We saw Nas and Diddy do it back in the early 2000s with their Hate Me Now song. The same exact imagery is showing us here. This has been going on for years. The same blasphemous imagery coming from the music industry. Before Diddy even did it, Tupac did it as well for his Illuminati album.
And you see the two loops on one side of Nas shit, and then the three on the other. It was 223, 232, Skull and Bones.
After he passed, we saw Kanye West wearing the crown of thorns for a Rolling Stone cover back in 2006. Someone also made this statue of Kanye West that is supposed to be Kanye West as Jesus. I'm pretty sure many of you remember Kanye calling himself a god and referring to himself as Jesus. We see the same imagery from Ab-Soul, as he has an album cover also depicting himself as Jesus. Ab-Soul is the same man who created an album dedicated to Aleister Crowley. The rapper Lil Dicky also did the same imagery for his show Dave, depicting himself as Jesus. Remy Ma also depicted herself as Jesus, even calling herself Jesus in one of her old songs, Jesus Christ. Just recently, Kendrick Lamar was depicting himself as Jesus as well, in his music videos, album covers, and performances. People don't realize what imagery is being shown to them and why it's done. John Lennon from the Beatles told the world the reason all these artists are doing this years ago. John Lennon said that rock and roll would outlive Christianity. He also said that he was more popular than Jesus. By saying this, he implied that he was more worshipped than Jesus himself, and spoke about a future where Christianity shrinks and the rock stars are the new gods. The rappers are the modern rock stars. They are worshipped like gods. We are living in a time where the false idols have more influence than Jesus. This was Lucifer's plan from the beginning. Manipulate the masses to follow his ideology of do what thou wilt and being their own gods. The Masons are replacing Jesus with these artists, and the fans are sadly so hypnotized they can't see it for themselves. Since the beginning of DaBaby's career, he has shown he has no issues with selling out in order to get what he wants. Before DaBaby's career fully took off, he was seen wearing nothing but a diaper in public in his best efforts to clout chase. He was willing to humiliate himself for attention, proving that since the very beginning, he was down to sell out in order to make it. Many people online also believe that DaBaby might have made a sacrificial offering in order to make it. In 2019, just as DaBaby's career was taking off, his father just so happened to pass away out of nowhere, with to this day, it not being known what happened to him. To make things even stranger, DaBaby said that when his father passed out of nowhere, he went #1 out of nowhere. He wrote on a now deleted Instagram post, got a text message saying my album was #3 on the charts. Then talked to my little brother and found out my pops passed away out of nowhere and my album went #1 on the charts out of nowhere. He also tweeted, after losing my pops unexpectedly, a couple weeks after popping as a mainstream artist, I numbed out all feelings. Wins felt the same way losses did, like nothing. All that I accomplished in 2019, all the records broke, all the history I made, I ain't feel.
You know what Gashi Shami said about that pain and shit? These niggas is crazy, bro. They really doing this shit.
That. It almost seems as if he feels guilty over what happened to his father. He said that he is numb and doesn't feel nothing, which to me sounds like he's describing himself being soulless. DaBaby also raps about this very thing in his song Intro, highlighting multiple times that his father passed the same day he went #1 and blew up. In the song he raps, and I'm just somewhere messed up thinking about my father and stuff. They found him gone a couple days before I started tour. Same time I got the news, my album went #1. That's messed up. That there was confusing a little bit. He also raps, how did I make it to the top the same day I lost the man that had me? How am I performing on BET? And a year ago, I couldn't afford a sandwich. To me, it seems clear that DaBaby was making it known his father was his price of admission. To make matters worse, his brother would also pass away just 1 year later, at the same time DaBaby's career was reaching peak heights. It is reported by authorities that DaBaby's brother went out by his own hand. People point to a video of DaBaby's brother that shows him crying, stating he was wrong shortly before the incident happened. Whether DaBaby had anything to do with this, we will never know. But what I do know is that it does seem very suspicious, especially after DaBaby was at Kanye's Donda event with Marilyn Manson and Shenseea. It is believed Kanye West and Shenseea both made sacrifices in order to make it in the music industry. The same thing many believe DaBaby did with his father. I don't think it's a coincidence that Kanye invited them to join him at his Donda event. We already know these artists that make it to the level DaBaby made it to have to make sacrifices, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly what DaBaby did. Something I've always found disturbing about DaBaby is that he raps about the now infamous incident that happened at Walmart, where DaBaby was apparently forced to defend himself against some young guys who were trying to take his stuff. In DaBaby's song Rockstar, which is arguably one of his biggest hits, he has a line where he brags about the Walmart incident. He raps about his daughter seeing him the day he was forced to defend himself, calling her a G for having witnessed this. To me, this Walmart incident seems strange as well, as it happened just 2 months before he was signed. In many of DaBaby's songs, he promotes violence through his lyrics. Many of his fans idolize him for living his raps, as he talks about what he seems to have no issues doing. In my opinion, there's just too many signs early in his career that point to DaBaby being a Masonic puppet. I believe DaBaby took the oath, and it's the reason he was able to reach the top and be such a successful breakout star. If we look at his recent music video, it's obvious he took the oath long ago and is being used to push the Masonic agenda. They're creating these artists to play as the false idols the masses will worship. We must not allow these artists to manipulate our minds, and we must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just wanted to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members.
Smash that like and subscribe button, man. Tell me what y'all think about DaBaby, man. Taking an oath in the comment section. Gonna drop another one, man. See y'all niggas again, man. Smash that like and subscribe button again. Gang, gang, man.